And like, there were many months, more months than not, where Candace would be like, hey, you never gave me your half of the rent. And I'd always have some excuse like, ugh, okay, let me call my accountant. I'm so sorry. I don't know why you don't have it yet. And I just didn't have the money.
Yeah.
And that was like when I was vlogging. So I was really kind of embarrassed and I hid it from the vlog. And then I remember like when those checks started hitting my account.
So yeah, the YouTube checks?
The YouTube checks came first. And I remember it was like, I never turned my monetization on my YouTube channel. This is like a fact that most people just don't get. But I did 100 million views before I turned on monetization. Because it to me at the time, and this is wrong, and I fucking regret this, and I'm an idiot for doing this, but I felt like there was some degree of integrity. Like by not monetizing them, I was doing them for the art of it.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like I'm an idiot for doing that. Don't ever do that. If you do that, I don't think you're an artist. I think you're a fucking idiot. And I was a fucking idiot for doing that. But I didn't mind. So I remember I turned it on. And I remember like the first month, it was like $6,000. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, that covers rent and like, shit, we got to dinner and daddy's paying.
Yeah.
And then like the next month it was like $16,000. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like 16 times 12. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And then the next month it was like $60,000. And that's when I was like, uh-oh. And then like, it just didn't stop. And then it's like, it's 6 figures and multiples. And then the brands start calling. And then like, that was a big shift for me. It's like all that commercial work that I talked about, I did. It was always about my creativity. It was like, write these treatments, like, a pitch deck or like these ideas. Here's my creative idea. The brand would be like, oh, you're so creative. We're excited to work with you. And then none of that discussion. It was just how much for you to talk about our brand on your channel. They weren't paying me for my creativity. They were paying me for my reach.
Wow.
And I remember that happening. And at first I felt insulted. I was like, wait, you don't want to know what I'm doing? Like, we don't care. Whatever you want to do.
Samsung.
I mean, Samsung was a great brand. Yeah. They let me do whatever I wanted creatively.
I remember, so I would be very remiss if I didn't mention that Jamie Vernon, you know who Jamie Vernon is? Mm-hmm. Joe Rogan's producer, is a huge fan of yours also.
I appreciate it.
And I would show up early to do Rogan and I remember he got the board. The board, he's like, Bert, I got one. I was like, shut the fuck up.
Board,
But I was like, we would talk about and I remember, I think Rogan got a Samsung and he was like, yeah, I just got this Samsung. And Jamie and I looked at each other. We're like, someone watches Casey.